and this is our weekly immigration live stream. The show is going to be a big one tonight. I got a lot to talk about. First, there's some Allegheny Immigration Group news, premiums and giveaways. We just ordered 200 new shirts, and those should be in shortly. Various sizes and things of that nature. There's always nice cups, mugs, giveaways, and things like that. You can have any of that stuff. You can have it free. There's a link right on our Facebook page. I put it up. It should be the link right under this live. You click there and it'll take you to a sign-up form, and we will ship you free a box of Allegheny Immigration Group swag, if you would, branded items. We don't save your email or anything, or your mailing address. There's no mailing list, or we don't share that with anybody. So your information we kept private, but you'll get free Allegheny Immigration Group stuff to use in your home. All right, so this stuff's for free. Again, go to that link right below this one on the Allegheny Immigration Group Facebook page. Right, it's just below it, and if you click on the picture of the stuff, it'll take you to a sign-up form. Okay, next news, potential Indigent Representation program. We're seeing a lot of people coming in now that don't have any real significant funds at all and have serious immigration needs. People facing deportation, people that are married to an American citizen and are entitled to lawful status, but can't even afford the filing fees, let alone anything for us. I'm a big-hearted man, and I can and do, where it's appropriate, try and cut prices, but at the same time I've got staff, I've got rent, payroll, paper, all that stuff costs money. So we're thinking about some form of indigent representation. I don't know if we'll be setting up a fund or if we'll be doing something more like NPR does, where they sell you premium items instead of give them to you, and you get that cup for a donation or that t-shirt for a donation. I'd like to hear your thoughts on that, if any of you have any thoughts, if you'd be willing to do that, or how you'd like to see that structured. I think there were some ideas here. All right, so getting into the show, and this is the immigration topics. First one is always a popular topic, immigration through marriage. Now, I haven't compared statistics on this, but I would venture to say, from my experience as an immigration lawyer, that the most popular way people come to be American citizens is through marriage, and that's the rule. When a citizen marries a non-citizen, as long as that non-citizen is not otherwise inadmissible, that non-citizen can get a green card based on the marriage. The American citizen files a petition with the government requesting that the service give the non-citizen status, and the non-citizen then files an application for green card. There were some proposed rules that have been rattled around about over the last couple months that would make that more difficult. There was a rule suggesting that if the non-citizen had used certain types of public benefits in the past, that was the so-called public charge rule that everybody's up in arms in, that the non-citizen spouse would not be able to get a green card because of that. That's not the case right now. That rule is on hold. It's tied up in the courts. Immigration lawyers, just like me, through our national organizations, have tied the administration up pretty good. But again, the administration is not giving up quite so easily. A lot of these rules may eventually come to be the law. And because of that, we're seeing a lot of immigration applications being filed. Now, people are getting wise to this, that something's coming, and they want to get ahead of it. And I think that's a good idea. Another one that we just missed the boat on, probably in the last week or so, was a rule saying that if your non-citizen spouse didn't have health insurance, that they couldn't get a green card, that they would have to get health insurance. So that's also been tied up in the courts, but I can expect that it'll also be coming back in one form or another. So a lot of people are coming in. I mean, this is a very popular way of getting a green card, marrying an American citizen. There have been whole TV shows about it, Will and Grace and so on and so forth. But for now, things are going pretty much the same way they always have. The two big problems we're seeing, and that's probably reflective of the number of people who are being driven out of the shadows, coming in from the cold and saying, I better get my green card now rather than later. The two big problems are income and undocumented status, or unlawful presence of the non-citizen spouse in the United States. So you have a situation, there are people who are unlawfully present in the United States, and that can be for two reasons. If you're unlawfully present in the United States, it means you have no legal immigration status in here at all. That could be because you entered lawfully and your legal status is expired, so to speak, a visa overstay, or it could be undocumented, right? These are the classic illegal aliens, the people that walk across a border. For now, if it's just someone who overstayed, they're not really holding that against them. They did lawfully enter in the first place. They just stayed longer than they were allowed. Those people are not having a problem getting a green card through marriage under the current rules. That they just get a break. They could have overstayed for years. I've seen it happen. The problem comes where the non-citizen spouse is undocumented, an illegal alien. This is the term that's being used is undocumented. Those people cannot adjust I got people sending me text messages while I'm trying to do a live. Those people cannot adjust their status in the United States. They can apply for a waiver, and we can help you do that. Okay. The other one, again, as I was saying, is income. For the one of the things that the citizen spouse has to do is demonstrate that they have enough income to take care of the non-citizen spouse. And that's just the rule. It's called sponsorship. That's calculated based on the size of the family. And I was just looking at the number. So in the base number for a family of two, that's the citizen and non-citizen only and no other dependents. The rule is that the citizen spouse has to show annual income on their tax return of $21,137. If there's one kid, and again, that doesn't have to be a child of the marriage. That could be either spouse already has a kid. That number goes up to 26,662. A family size of 4 is 32,187. Family size of 5, now you're getting into it, 37,712. And it does go up after that. If you have a bigger family size and you want the number, feel free to call me. My name is Joe Murphy. I'm an immigration lawyer with Allegheny Immigration Group. My office number is 412-586-4131. My cell, text, and WhatsApp are all the same number, 412-973-3442. If you don't make the income threshold, and a lot of people don't now, and those are the 2019 numbers, so they'll be higher next year, we can help you. There are things we can do. I mean, obviously, the citizen spouse could just simply get a second job, but not a lot of people can do that. There's time, with the economy being what it is. So the practice is commonly that you'll get a co-sponsor, like someone to co-sign. I make the joke, it's not quite the same thing, but like someone that would co-sign a car loan with you. Normally the co-sponsor is also a family member of the citizen spouse. Particularly with young families, it's not uncommon that the parents of one or both parents, even regular marriages where both spouses are already citizens, it's not uncommon that the parents will give them some help in a new marriage, and it would be perfectly reasonable for help to be given with something like this as well. The thing about using a co-sponsor is that they increase the number of people dependent upon the income. So if you have a family size of 3, right, there's husband, wife, and perhaps a kid, and they're going to use father-in-law's income to be a co-sponsor, the family size goes up because father-in-law is also dependent upon his own incomes. All right, so I did give you my office number. The main number is 412-521-2000. My personal cell, text, WhatsApp, they're all the same numbers, 412-973-3442. If you haven't tried WhatsApp, you ought to get a look at it. It's encrypted, it's international, and it's a free app. And all your calls and texts on it are free too. It's available for Android and iOS, and you can download it. And if you want to talk with me, of course you can use any method you want. You can even stop by my office. I'm in the Grant Building in downtown Pittsburgh. But if you can WhatsApp me, that's the easiest way because it integrates all these different things in one space for me. That people clicking contact forms, people calling me, people texting me, that all goes into one thing, and then I have to work with half a dozen apps. So, all right, next thing, loose lips sink ships. As you're all aware, immigration rhetoric is at an all-time high. You got the politicians working everybody up. People on both sides of the debate have gotten really acrimonious, and there's just a lot of nonsense going on. Keep your mouth shut about your immigration status. Don't tell anybody what you're doing, and certainly don't joke about it. Okay, this is a serious thing, and what I'm going to talk about now is immigration snitches. There is a type of visa called an S visa, and that is for, so to speak, informants. These are people that are giving the government information about criminal activity, and in return for that, they can get an S visa, stay here lawfully, and ultimately, if they're good, work through the S visa process, they can get a green card off that. A couple lives ago, I gave an example of a client of mine. This was a non-citizen male. Dude came in the country, met an American girl, perfectly normal, married her. And like a lot of people that come from I hate to say foreign communities, but they have their own group. They're buddies. They all speak the same language. They all came from relatively the same region of the world. And he was hanging out with a bunch of his buddies. They're all joking around about how smart they are and how they're getting over on Americans. And they're joking around, and he starts joking around about how he tricked this American girl into a marriage where one of his quote-unquote buddies went to the authorities and snitched on him. Now, the marriage actually was real, but it took quite a long time and a lot of money to keep this guy from being deported. So keep your mouth shut. Don't joke about your immigration status. Certainly don't joke about immigration fraud. Don't joke about immigration fraud, and don't allow people to joke about it around you. You don't want to be caught up in one of these S-Visa capers. Next topic, citizenship interviews. Getting citizenship is possible, and I can help you. This next guy is coming up for his interview on the 5th, and they do some testing of you in that interview. There are 2 tests that they perform. One is called an English test, and they're going to test your ability to read, write, and speak the English language. That's normally done by saying something and asking you to write it down, and then writing something and asking you to read it out loud. That's pretty easy for most people. The other thing that they test is what is sometimes called the civics test. That's a test that includes 100 questions, but you don't have to answer 100 questions. They just pick 10 at random out of the 100. And of those 10, you only have to get 6 right. So if you're going through and you get the first 6 right, you're done. You passed that part of the test. If anybody's getting ready for that test and that naturalization interview, please get in touch. I have all 100 questions they could possibly ask you and the approved answers printed out here. I can send you a copy. I also have nice guides to naturalization I can send you. So don't hesitate. I'm very supportive of this activity, and if we can make it easier for you, we can. So my name is Joe Murphy. I'm a lawyer with Allegheny Immigration Group. Our office is in Pittsburgh, but I practice all over this region. That means Virginia, West Virginia, Maryland, Ohio, obviously Pennsylvania. We have practice work in Minneapolis, Seattle, and San Francisco too. I get around, I'm available. I think, especially now more than ever, with all the rhetoric, nonsense, and emotion that's going on in the debate about immigration, there's a lot of confusion and a lot of fear. And if I can be a voice of reason, give you the truth, support you, I'm here to do that.